I want to just end with one more example that's perhaps a bit different or completely different to the mining. I spoke briefly about the motor industry earlier. And I just want to touch on what's happening in the motor industry that I think most people don't know about and I think need to be aware of. And again, from an opportunity perspective. But South African motor industry market is tied very much to Europe. In other words, everything that we do export, we export to Europe.
Yes.
Europe has put, and that's across the board. It's every single motor manufacturer that you can think of in South Africa, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Toyota,
Yeah.
all of their exports are to Europe. That's important because although they need a domestic market to keep manufacturing here, the value of the export market is much greater than the value of the local market. And the local market is shrinking because the middle class is getting smaller. And the income to spend on a car is reducing in South Africa. And that's been a steady decline since 2014. Now, why is this important, the Europe story, is that Europe has put targets in place that they are incredibly serious about, and that is that they will convert to electric vehicles by 2035. And they are serious about that. So if we want to carry on exporting to Europe, we have to produce electric vehicles. We don't have a choice. If we don't produce those electric vehicles, that export market goes away. And then the impetus for those motor companies to stay here goes away. Because their local market's not big enough to sustain their plants. So the transition to electric vehicles is something to take very seriously. And there are significant opportunities. So also, for example, in Port Elizabeth, that automotive industry is not just Volkswagen and General Motors, etc. It's all the component manufacturers, the people that
time manufacturers as well.
And there are opportunities, therefore, across that value chain. And I would suggest that people that are interested in that kind of component support, motor industry, electric vehicles, battery storage packs that are needed for electric vehicles, there's some thinking to be done in terms of the opportunities in that industry, for example. Otherwise, the motor industry has finished, and the losses, the alternative is hard to contemplate. Oh, best I stop there. I'm taking up too much airtime.
Okay.